Welcome back everyone to more Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing. And today I am very excited because we're going to be starting our career mode journey. We're going to start at the very beginnings in the midgets and progress our way forward to hopefully making it up all the way to the 410s and maybe winning some races and championships along the way. So here at the top of the screen, start my career. We're going to go ahead and select A for that. And we've got a few different options. We're going to be doing the regular start rather than the custom start, which would allow us to start in any of the three series. But we're going to go ahead and stick with the midgets to begin with and take the more traditional path. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at the career options. So we got a couple of tabs here. First, under gameplay, we've got car identifiers. I'm going to leave this on position. Let's see, can I just do position? Nope, it's either off or position and name. I was wanting to do really just position because, as I've mentioned a few different times in the videos up until now on the game, there is no spotter in the game, so I really don't have any way of knowing which cars I'm racing and which ones are passing me for position, which ones I'm passing to put a lap down, and so on. So we'll leave that on position and name. AI difficulty, we're going to go on legend, which is going to prove, I'm sure, to be very difficult, especially at the beginning when we are severely underpowered with our car. Damage, we're going to use full damage. Race length, we'll start off at 50%, but I'm very excited to get to 100% races, but we'll test it out at 50% for the first few at least. And then finally, flags. This is going to be very important because in my testing so far in the game, I have tried to use the strict yellow, and that just hasn't worked out very well because it seems like it wants to come out a lot during the race. So we're going to move it back to relaxed yellow, where I've had a lot more success in the quick race format, because basically there, as it says on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to require multiple cars to be involved in a wreck before a caution comes out, and that's much more in line with what I would prefer rather than just single-car wrecks slowing down the pace of the race. Okay, moving over to the driving tab. We're going to be using the expert settings, so no driving aids for us, and then I'm just going to leave the AI settings all at normal. As always, though, we can come back and adjust any of these settings that we might need to, but I think based on my experience so far in the quick race format, I think all of these are going to be perfectly fine, but we're free to make some adjustments if need be. All right, so we come back out to the main screen. We're going to click on Start My Career, and let's see what happens.
Growing up, and even still today, dirt racing's my first passion. You know, it started in go-karts, and I went to three-quarter midgets, then to full midgets, sprint cars, silver crown cars, and then my path to IndyCar and NASCAR. The relationships and reputation you build for yourself early on is so important for your future success. Keeping the reputation and keeping those sponsors happy is going to help you build your race team to help you win and be more competitive. In the game, we're going to start you out in the All Star TQs, give you a chance to progress to 305 sprint cars, and then into the 410 All Star sprint cars. So it's fun because you'll learn a smaller car that's lighter weight, less horsepower. You'll learn how to control the car. Then as you move to the 305s, you'll move to a heavier car with more power. Then when you get to the 410 wing sprint cars, you're going to have a lot of power, a lot of speed, and a lot of car control is what you're going to need. I'll tell you the same thing I tell all my drivers. The best advice I ever received was take care of your equipment. If you're tearing up your race car and you're running into other guys, you're spending your money fixing your race car versus taking that money that you could be winning from your sponsors and making your race car go faster. If you're crashing your equipment, your sponsors are watching, you get a bad reputation with the other drivers if you're running into them. There's a huge difference between racing drivers hard and racing drivers clean, so always be aware of that. We're all expecting big things out of you. I hope that one day you can experience a championship in the All-Star Circuit of Champions, or maybe even a couple, who knows. I'll check in with you now and then and see how you're doing. Good luck out there.
So the first thing we need to do is create our driver. Now it's going to default in the same attributes as we have on the main menu under the My Driver tab. So that's what we're starting with. I've changed our name to Flying Brian, and we hope that that's very important. And we hope that the flying means fast rather than flipping end over end on the track, which is certainly very possible with some of these cars. So we're going to start out with that preset. Helmet 2 looks perfectly fine. We'll leave the colors as is for now, but who knows, along the way, we might decide that we want to more color coordinate them with our car and our sponsor. So let's take a look at the different styles here. Oh, I like that one. So we'll go with the very last one. And you can see Jake's Golf Carts is our sponsor for now. And we'll see if they're available within career mode and what role they might play. Because I would imagine that different sponsors have different roles and how much they pay and so on. But I guess we'll be finding that out very shortly. We'll go ahead and click on continue, save our changes. And let's see what it's got in store next for us. Now I am on the Xbox here, so we might have a few loading screens here or there, but it shouldn't be all that big of a deal. But one of the big things I love to do with this series is to show you guys exactly the way the game operates. So here we go. Sponsor showcase at Stone Ridge Motorsports Park. Really don't have much, if any, experience. I'm still getting used to the names of the different tracks in the game. And since none of them are real tracks or familiar to me, then it takes me a little while. So rookie sensation, Flying Brian wins opportunity to enter the race. All right, so of course we know we're going to be starting off in the midgets. Let's go ahead and continue there. So we're going to have a sponsor showcase. Oh, and it means we're headed to the track right now. Before we jump in and begin our heat race, I wanted to show you guys exactly what they are expecting from us here in this showcase. So you see the goal time of 9.35 in practice. I didn't spend very much time at all in practice. I simply threw a setup at it that I thought would be pretty good, ran a few laps, and it turned out it was fine. Now, we're incredibly slow, as I expected, but the handling overall was perfectly fine. So we got down to a 983 in practice. Our qualifying time was a 991, which I believe was 25th out of 33 cars. So we're going to be in heat number 5. Now, if we finish in, I believe it's the top 5 in this heat race, we'll move directly on to the A main. That is our goal, top 5, so that we can get into that A main. And the reason why that is important is if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, our sponsors. And then you see all the different criteria as to when you unlock each of the sponsors. We want the sponsor Jake's Golf Carts for making it to the A main. That's what we're looking for, because I have a feeling that the sponsor for the A main is going to give us the most money. And of course, the more money we get, the quicker that we can level up our car and be stronger in these races in career mode. So that's our goal. Let's move on to the heat race. So the top 3 advance instead of the top 5. So we're going to have some serious work to do. We're going to be starting in 5th. All right, here we go. Green flag. And I'm going to try to hug this bottom down here as much as I can. All right, overdid it a little bit there. Oh, I saw somebody looks like they went up and over off the side of the track. So again, I'm going to stick to the bottom. Ouch. Somebody just tried to drop kick us there. Coming off the corner. Oh, look out. Okay, they just ran me out of the way right there. So apparently the midget racing with the AI is full contact. Oh, we just got run out of the way again. And I've got the foot to the floor. I have not took my foot off the floor at all yet. All right, where did we finish? 4th. Okay. So not great. We didn't get to the top 3 that we wanted, but it's not the end of the world. So now we're going to move on to the B main and start 5th there. So again, overall, not terrible, just not as good as we might have hoped for. All right, now it's time for the B main. Top 5 from the B main advance on to the A main, and that's exactly what we need to do. So we need to be top 5. We're starting in 5th, but we've already seen from the heat race that it is full contact out here with these guys. So we're going to have to see if we can, number 1, survive, and number 2, stay down here on the bottom where we need to be. And I've already been tagged in the rear. Not sure who got me there, but it is certainly working because they are pushing me right up off the bottom. Did you see that guy go flying off the side of the screen there? Not sure what happened to him. We might have to pick him up on the way home. Yeah, these guys are all over the place. If you hear some shaking, that would be my wheel. It usually happens when there's contact. All right, we're going to root that guy out of the way because he had no problem rooting us out of the way. So if that's the way they're going to drive us, then I won't feel so bad if I make contact with them either.
It is time to go with only a handful remaining.
Wow, these guys are all over the place. All right, so we got 10 laps total. We're starting lap number 7. And we're hanging around the top 5 here. I just hope it holds on because we're in 4th, and I see 2 guys coming up behind us in our virtual mirror. And, oh, he's gotten to our inside. Nope, he backed off. That's exactly what I need him to do. Again, we want as much comfort level as we can here. But right now, being in 4th and drifting up the track like that is no good. Oh, we just got tagged. Wow. That was wild. I did not know that was the last lap, but that guy drop kicked us, so I decided to return the favor and just root him up out of the way. So we're going to move on to the A main. Now, where we're starting in the A main really does not matter to me. We made it to the A main, and that's really all I care about. I would prefer, of course, to have a much cleaner race, but the AI are proving to make that they're going to make that very difficult for me. So we're just going to try to race with them as best we can. Now, I do believe there's a mechanic in the game that where you have to repair your parts. So we'll have to see how that's going to play out for us. But I mean, just look at the guys that are just flying by us. Thankfully for us, a lot of them are washing up the track, which is allowing us to hold on to some spots. But wow, they are just blowing us away on pure speed. All right, so A main starting 20th. Let's get this party started. Boy, does it sound good to hear him say the main event. We made it. And that is really all I care. Look at all those cars in front of us. We got a lot of cars to try to pass, but again, we made it to the A main. That's really all I care about. Oh, look out, stack up. So yeah, we made it here. That's really all I care. So let's just see what we can get. I'm trying to race clean. I really don't want any contact with another car, but that is proving to be very difficult. All right, so we make a few passes, and then you can see these guys are blowing right back by us. So what we need is basically for some guys to all sweep up to the top of the track and give us an opportunity to get under them. But you can see, there we go. There's Martz going right back by us. But we're up in 17th. I'll take it. Hey, any position is fine with me. We're just going as hard as we can. Did we just get lapped? That guy was going by us so fast, it seemed like he must have been the leader. Oh, hello. Yep, that was the leader right there. He decided he needed to drop kick us and be on his way. So that's exactly what he did. All right, not bad, not bad. Just basically trying to hold my line here and, hit the bottom in the corners as best I can, unless I see somebody coming up behind me. And I try to give them a little room, but for the most part, that's about it. All right, we're up to 13th now. There must have been some people that have gone off the embankment up there, because that's about the only reason I can think of that we would actually pass somebody, because it is not going to be on speed. That is for sure.
10 laps remain.
All right, so 20 laps total. Remember, we're at 50% race distance here, and I cannot wait to go full race distance on this at some point. We'll start off with a little bit shorter videos, and then as time goes on and we get into this thing, get a little stronger car that we can compete with better, then we'll look at the possibility of, oh, look out. Wow. Yeah. So, a little, good gracious, folks. We can't get out of the way quick enough for these guys. Yep, there you go. He hit us 2. So these guys do not know how to pass. They know how to just run through you. If you happen to be in their lane, they will run through you, not around you. All right, so we're still in 14th somehow after two what should have been serious wrecks. And at least one of those should have included us taking flight. All right, so we're in 13th with just a few laps to go, about 4 or 5 laps to go. And again, oh my goodness. Really, guys? This track is incredibly wide, and you can't give me just a portion of it. That's all I need, just a portion of it. But just to show you how rough the AI race each other, as well as me, we're in 13th position. There's no way, based on speed, we should be in 13th. We should be dead last. And somehow we managed to come home 13th, which means that these guys were running over each other as often as they were running me over. So 13th position, we were 2 laps down. All right, let's scroll up to the top here. I'm dying to know, how many people were on the lead lap? 5 in 20 laps. There were only 5 people. And of course, Tony Stewart brings home the win, which is exactly what I would expect him to do. Wow. So 2 laps down. What about at the back of the field? Let's see, I see 4 laps, 3 laps. All right, so we were not in bad shape at all. Hey, we'll take it. But most importantly, let's go ahead and continue on. And let's see what it's got in store for us. So final results from Stone Ridge. 13th position. All right, so are we going to talk about anything else right now? Season standing, 40th. We're not worried about that. It'll be a long time before we're worried about our actual standings. Okay, continue on. Oh, and it's time to finish the event. So, all right, let's head back. And I would assume at this point, we're ready to begin our very first season. Now that the showcase has been completed, here you can see the list of midget sponsors that we have unlocked. So all 4 of them. That is very nice. So now I can't wait to find out what kind of money they're going to offer us in sponsorship. So we'll go ahead and click on accept there. And here we go. Season 1. Before you race your first season, you'll need to customize your team. All right, so we don't have an option to sign with an existing team. Very interesting take. So we were gonna start our own team anyway, so that was a non-issue. But I find it interesting that there's no option to sign with an existing team. So we'll need to pick a team name, a sponsor, and we'll need to paint our car. All right, so we won't worry too much about painting our car right now, but I do want to pick out the team name and sponsor. Oh boy. Immediately, for those of you who are following along in NASCAR Heat and have played those games, you'll immediately recognize some names on this list. So let's see what we've got. Silver Sword, Raging Storm. Okay, I like that. Spicy Aces. All right. Crashing Thunder. All right, that might be more appropriate based on the racing we just saw. Nasty Badger. Wow, this is some interesting stuff. All right, so I think, yikes, this is, I kind of like this Black Sports Racing logo. That is very nice. Some of these others are also pretty neat looking, but I think I'm going to go Black Sports. Let's go ahead and accept that. And who do we want to be our sponsor? Now comes the fun of unlocking all 4 sponsors. So we've got Donovan, very small signing bonus, very small payout per race. So that must have been the lowest of the sponsors. And then if we look on the far right-hand side of the screen, Jake's golf cart. I wonder if he works at State Farm. I'm not sure. He might. Anyway, either way, he's got some nice golf carts, I'm sure. He's going to pay us by far the most. It's not really even close. I mean, if you look at the speed shop next to it, has a pretty good signing bonus. Obviously not quite as much as Jake, but the payout per race is nowhere near. And it looks like the part discount is 10% across the board. So this makes things pretty easy for us. We're going Jake's golf carts. So let's go ahead and sign that sponsor up and see what they've got in store for us next. And here is our initial design for the car. Basically what I did is I took the logo for Jake's golf carts and I tried to take the color scheme from it in a very basic way and transition that into our car. So we've got a lot of red on here, some light blue, white, and so on. I really like the look of this, but we're going to have every opportunity to change this throughout the season. And who knows how many times we might end up changing that, just depending on some ideas. If you guys have some ideas on some paint schemes, feel free to let me know. I'm willing to try just about anything in the paint booth. I'm not tied to any design in particular, but I really like the look of this to get us started. So we're going to go ahead and click on continue, and that'll be it for today's video. So we've made it through a really rough patch in today's video, some hard full contact racing, but the main thing is we got the sponsor that we needed. We made it to the A main ultimately. Now we took a very long way around to get there, a very long and winding path to get there, but we made it to the A main. We got our sponsor of Jake's Golf Carts. We got the money we need, and when we come back next time, we'll take a look at how we can spend some of that money to hopefully improve the performance of our car. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more. Tony Stewart, Sprint Car Racing.